Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with
Here now, in this game, one goal, one team. Fight for that possession, gotta act fast. Another shot, another pass. The city comes to life and they got something to say. Come on, let's go. I feel devotion.
Olympiacos and 3-time EuroLeague champions, and the last team to go back to back. Efes Istanbul, the defending champions, and a club in the process of building a legacy. We have two teams and one goal. History is on the line here tonight at the Final Four.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Belgrade. Welcome to one of the heartlands of European basketball. Tonight, the Serbian capital is the host city for the Final Four in the 22nd edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague, the continent of Europe's premier basketball competition. Just as it did in 2018, the Stark Arena serves as the venue for the last four teams looking to claim the European crown. In tonight's first semi-final, the reigning champions, Anadolu Efes, try to take one more step on their quest to claim back-to-back titles for the first time in close to 10 years. We talk now to their coach, EuroLeague Coach of the Year from 2020-21, Ergen Ataman.
Our game will be same. So to join on the court, to enjoy, to play a running game, transition game, and of course for us will be the key will be our defense.
Well, the last team to win back-to-back titles in this illustrious competition is none other than three-time title holders Olympiacos of Piraeus. The Reds claimed their most recent titles in 2012 and 2013 when they were led by this year's Coach of the Year, Georgios Bartsokis, who makes his third trip to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. We talk now to Coach Bartsokis.
Of course, the big players are going to make a step up in these crucial moments, these crucial games. But I really believe the team effort, the way that we're going to play together, is more important than some matchups.
Well, we've gathered the thoughts of tonight's two coaches. We bring you inside the arena, the Final Four of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Tonight's first semi-final features Olympiacos of Piraeus against the title holders, Anadolu Efes of Istanbul. Well, live images from the Stark Arena now, and we're going to take you through how the teams advanced to this phase of the competition. Olympiacos make their 11th appearance in the Final Four. They got here with a semi-final victory, a playoff victory in 5 games over Monaco. Anadolu Efes make their 5th appearance in the Final Four, and they are here having bested Olimpia Milano in their playoff series. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Belgrade. Live images now from the Stark Arena. My name is Liam Canny. As ever, it is my privilege to be with you tonight, and I introduce my partner, 1999 EuroLeague champion, George Zidek.
Liam, it's great to be back live in person in Stark Arena as we look into team comparisons. And as we discussed before, these two teams look so similar. If you look at all the statistics across the board, they are very similar, only with the difference of the free throws, which go slightly in favor of Anadolu Efes Istanbul. Otherwise, it's a very close race across the board.
Yeah, they're almost mirror images of each other on offense, George, aren't they? It's remarkable how similar they are. We can see the players now going through their warm-ups. Olympiacos, 3-time title holders. And George, they've got that spine of players, 3 players who've been with them since they claimed those back-to-back titles in 2012 and 2013. Papanikolaou, Prindousis, and Kostas Lukas.
There's certainly continuity on both sides. A lot of experience, you don't even have to mention that. Let's look at the key players, starting with the top scorer of the competition this year is none other than Vasilije Micic, averaging over 18 points in the competition. He picked it up slightly in the playoffs. He's in the top form.
Jamicic, one of Serbia's favorite sons. And here's a player you like, George, one of the big men, Tibor Pleiss. The German international can step away from the basket, can really space and stretch the floor, and he's having a fantastic season for Efes.
He has, he's the tallest body they have. It's gonna be a great matchup against Mustafa Fall, 2 meters 21 Pleiss against Mustafa Fall at 2 meters 18. Let's look at the side of Olympiacos, the team that likes to stress the togetherness, the team concept of play. That's what Coach Bartzokas speaks about all the time.
We'll take a look at some of the key players who will feature for the Reds. George, another player who's having a career year, Sasha Vezenkov, all EuroLeague first team, can stretch the floor with his ability to shoot it and can also play in a low post.
Absolutely, it's a breakthrough year for Sasha Vezenkov. I think he just personifies the mentality, the working mentality of Olympiacos. Here is Thomas Walkup after the transfer and 3 successful seasons in Zalgiris Kaunas. He is really the man that you don't see necessarily on the stat sheet, but he does so many things well for the team that he's just invaluable.
Yeah, he's one of the underdogs, especially with his defensive ability. And George, here are some of the marquee players. On the left, it is Kostas Sloukas, who is in the EuroLeague Final Four for the 8th time, and Shane Larkin on the right. 2 of the players in the backcourt for tonight's 2 teams.
If you talk about the best 2 point guards in the competition, that's what you have in mind. Kostas Sloukas going against Shane Larkin. I cannot wait, Liam. It should be a great show on the perimeter. These players can create shots, and well, they will be going head-to-head, one-on-one, and I cannot wait.
Watch out. Right now. This is my time now. It's all on the line now. Destiny is mine now. Watch how we rise now. I'm so alive. Champions never die. They multiply. Keep it 20 times 5. Champions never die. Through it we survive and finally arrive. As the clock ticks, watch our elegance stand strong. This is it. Are you built for this? Yeah. As the clock ticks, watch our elegance stand strong. This is it. Are you built for this? Yeah. This is it. 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 Yeah. This is it. Stand strong. This is it. Are you built for this? Tighten up!
Well, what a marvelous spectacle here in Belgrade in the 22nd edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. We turn over now to the PA announcer for the arrival of tonight's 2 teams.
Get ready to welcome all of the players. Ladies and gentlemen, Anadolu Efes Istanbul. Number 0, Shane Larkin. Number 1, Rodrigue Boba. Number 2, Chris Singleton. Number 6, Elijah Bryant. Number 11, Erten Ghazi. Number 18, Adrian Mo. Number 19, Buran Tuncer. 21, Tibor Plais. 22, Vasa Mitic. 23, James Anderson. 33, Filip Petrushev. And captain 42, Brian Dunston. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach, Ergin Ataman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome the players of Olympiacos Piraeus. Number 0, Thomas Wakaf. Number 1, Quincy Acey. Number 2, Tyler Dorsey. Number 5, Yanulis Larentakis. Number 10, Mustafa Fall. Number 11, Kostas Lukas. 12, Hassan Martin. 14, Sasha Vezenkov. Captain, number 15, Georgios Pritezis. 16, Kostas Papanikolaou. 17, Livio Zanchal. And 77, Shaquille McKissick. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach, Georgios Bartzokas.
Well, the players are on the floor, the head-to-head here, George, between the two coaches. The 13th time that they will battle wits. And we are delighted to announce, of course, that we've got the last 2 years Coach of the Year in Coach Bartzokas and Ataman.
It is incredible what kind of talent we have on the floor and what kind of experience and leadership we have at the benches, Liam. Exactly a great point of last year's best coach of the year, taking on this year's best coach of the season. Georgios Bartzokas. We're looking at the roster of Anadolu Efes Istanbul. There you have it. Unbelievable continuity. If you look at last 4 seasons, they've been together almost identically, only 2 small additions. Elijah Bryant and Filip Petrushev added to the roster. So really a lot of togetherness and continuity with Efes.
Yeah, you were saying that we were talking beforehand about how stable a side it is. And George, for me, for Olympiacos, it's the spine of the team with those 3 Greek players that we identified already in Sloukas, Papanikolaou, and Prindices. You know, Papanikolaou really wears a heart on his sleeve. He's the sort of emotional leader. And one thing that you picked up about the Olympiacos players as we bring you the starting 5, it's been a settled starting 5 for Coach Bartzokas.
That's incredible. The whole season, Coach Bartzokas has been starting the same starting 5. So let's look at the starters now.
Ladies and
For
gentlemen,
Anadolu Efes, it's going to be Shane Larkin at the guard, Vasily Micic at the off guard, Adrian Mammon at the power forward, Anderson at the small forward, and Tibor Plais at the center position.
Yeah, going across the midcourt stripe, it is the starters here now for Olympiacos. Walk up in Dorsey in the backcourt, Vazenkov, Papanikolaou, and Mustafa Fall. And as you said, George, it's a very settled lineup. No surprise that we don't see Sloukas in the starting lineup because he hadn't started much throughout the course of the season.
Absolutely not. I think that he feels a lot more comfortable this season coming off the bench. And you know, Coach Bartzokas spoke about it in volume just coming before here to Belgrade, and he said, we believe in team concept. One thing that I mentioned to you, he says, I like passer better than the scorer. I mean, it just stood out that there you see Coach Georgios Bartzokas, the Alexander Gomelski Coach of the Year winner. He is ready to go at the Olympiacos bench with the support of numerous fans here from Athens.
We'll take a look at the 3 wise men who will oversee proceedings tonight, and we'll pause now and pay our respects to the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague theme song. Well, George, we mentioned the starting fives. We would be remiss if we were not to talk about the sixth man in this one. And it looks like it's a partisan crowd here as the people of Piraeus have traveled to support Olympiacos.
There you see the sea of red in behind. It's difficult to estimate how many fans have traveled, but it has to be in the thousands, close maybe to 10,000. As Ergin Ataman looking focused right before the tip-off as we are getting ready to start the game in just a few moments. There you have the both coaches there in the split screen at the Final Four in Belgrade 2022.
While the referee steps into the center circle, we are moments away from kicking off the Final Four in the 22nd edition of the continent of Europe's premier basketball competition, the Final Four in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. First possession to Olympiacos as Anadolu Efes settle into man-to-man defense.
And they go inside to Mustafa Fall. The battle of the giants on the inside, and Mustafa Fall very effective with the drop step to the baseline over Tibor Pleiss.
Well, Larkin gets the first possession underway here for Efes. Olympiacos to start out in man-to-man defense. The ball back into the hands of Alfonso Ford winner Micic, who kicks it on to Larkin. Let's fly with a three, and both teams start with an opening score.
A lot of focus there on the first possession. I don't see any nerves or jitters there. Good execution on both sides for Olympiacos and Efes.
Here's Vezenkov. He'll get his first taste. It rims out, and you can hear the groans in the arena as Tibor Pleiss grabs the defensive rebound for Efes.
Vezenkov got a good look. He thought about a three-pointer a little bit, so when the defender backed off, he fired at the end.
There's another good matchup here, George. As Walkup draws the assignment to try and guard Micic. Papanikolaou on Larkin. Good quick ball movement by Efes. Micic's shot is short. We should say that Micic, the Serbian international, plays in Belgrade tonight, one of Serbia's favorite sons.
Good offensive rebound by James Anderson.
Quick pass ahead, and Larkin, who scored the last basket, shows he can play a little bit of defense as well. Larkin just 2 points away from a career milestone, 2,500 points in his Turkish Airlines EuroLeague career.
Liam, we watched him yesterday at practice, and he is lightning fast. I mean, he's deceptively small, but he gets out there, and if he gets out there in the open court, he likes to overplay the lanes.
This is a long shot from Dorsey, which is just short. Micic with the rebound.
What a season Tyler Dorsey is having. He's improving in his scoring average, and each season he's been with the club. It's a turnover there in the fast break. Thomas Walkup on the run.
Yeah, great finish by Walkup as he goes to the far side of the rim to ward off the defenders. Good transition basket here for Olympiacos.
Just showing no emotion. He's all locked in, Liam. You see Thomas Walkup.
Yeah, he did a terrific job, did Walkup, guarding Mike James in that playoff series against Monaco. And I think, George, many people were surprised that series went 5 games as Tibor Pleiss. Little jump hook. That's a shot from your playbook.
No, that's really effective that Tibor Pleiss just settled his feet and just perfect follow through to the basket. Yeah, it was surprising for some people for Olympiacos to take Monaco, or Monaco taking Olympiacos to 5.
Dorsey gets to the free throw line. He lets fly. That's off the mark. And Anderson claims the rebound for Anadolu Efes.
I like what James Anderson said. He said, I'm not necessarily a scorer, as Shane Larkin just fires a quick three-pointer. He didn't have the best look, and he was bothered from the side by one of the Olympiacos defenders.
Yeah, maybe a little bit impatient from Larkin. Walk up now between the circles, rides the high ball screen of Mustafa Fall. Nice pass to a darting Vezenkov, whose shot rims out. And we've got a foul here on Shane Larkin.
That's the first one on Larkin. And just to finish the thought on James Anderson, I mean, he's a player that's a capable scorer, but he's getting up there in age, and he said, as we are looking at the replay and the finish on the fast break there by Thomas Walkup, he said, I'll do anything to help my team. So right now he's focusing on rebounds, defense, and other stuff.
Anderson in his 7th EuroLeague season. Another touch inside to Fall. Quick pass by Papanikolaou to Walkup, who's open like church on Sunday, and he knocks down the corner three-pointer.
That's a beautiful ball movement inside. The defense collapsing on Fall. He's patient, finds the open shooter.
Good inside-out play for Olympiacos. Micic lets fly with a 3. That's off the mark. We've got good tempo here early on in this game as we approach 4 minutes gone in the opening stanza. Vazenkov probes to the left hand, nice pass inside, and great patience in the low post from Gustavo Fall.
Did you see that? This is the unselfish basketball that everybody's been talking about with connection in Olympiacos. Let's look at the replay. That's the drive by Vazenkov. He puts it to Fall, the fake, he takes the contact, goes up for the rim.
George, I love the patience here in the low post. You know, Fall, the up fake, he gets his balance, and he stuffs it. And this is me at 5'10" talking to you at 7 feet about inside play.
No, but I'm telling you, George Bartzokas has basically said this is a culmination of my 2.5 years work at the club. I have really sold the players on unselfish concept of basketball. It is absolutely shown here in the opening moments of the game.
As Vazenkov is sharing the sugar, Fall stuffs it home. We've got a violation here on the and one. Fall will get a chance to tack on the three-point play. It's off the mark. Pleiss with the rebound for Efes.
Yeah, only 60% free throw shooter, Mustafa Fall for the season, so this is something that you might consider almost a steal here by Papanikolaou. You like to talk about it. You said he brings his heart out. Every second he is on the floor, you see it right there, the active hands and feet. That is Kostas Papanikolaou at his best. He's going to pester Vasily Micic all game long.
That's the perfect word for him, George. He's a pest defensively. I mean that in the best sense of the word. But if he's guarding you as he's guarding Micic tonight, he'll create problems. He closes out on Pleiss and shots off the mark. Right now, Efes struggling offensively here in the opening quarter.
That was a tough shot selection again. After Micic rushing and Larkin rushing into the shots, it was Pleiss.
Fall gets another touch inside, spins on Pleiss, goes to the basket, and Tibor Pleiss, George, has got his hands full guarding in the low post.
He absolutely does. And I'm saying, feed the big fella on the inside, Liam. He wants the ball. Look at that. Mustafa Fall with the spin move. He's bringing some finesse tricks to Tibor Pleiss. Aggressively attacking the basket.
Well, let's just talk about this matchup a bit, George, because as we take a look at the Olympiacos fans, it's quite a contrast. Pleiss has now come out. In comes Bryant Dunston, the all-time shot blocker in EuroLeague history. But, you know, Pleiss wants to step away from the basket, and Fall wants to play back to the basket.
But, Liam, how often do you see a player 2'18" taking on a player 2'21"? I mean, this is rare in today's basketball. If you talk about today's basketball, everything is much quicker, faster, versatile, and this is the throwback.
Yeah. So often you see, George, in today's modern basketball, it's a three or in the key, and you don't see a lot of players playing back to the basket like we've seen Fall in a couple of possessions here. Well, Anderson hands off to Larkin. Efes, can they get something going? Foul here on Thomas Walkup as he tries to get over the top of the screen from Bryant Dunston.
That's an aggressive mistake here by Thomas Walkup. I think that Coach Bartzokas is going to live with that. Thomas Walkup just really pushing up defensively there, being active. The lead still 10-5 for Olympiacos with 5:23 to go in the first quarter.
Here's Micic with the left hand. Little bounce pass to Dunston, who sprays it out to Larkin. Good ball movement. Larkin's shot rims out. Hasn't found the shooter's touch yet.
That's a nice pass to the extra pass to the open shooter. Shane Larkin wide open. He had all the time in the world, just missed the shot.
Dunston really pushing Fall away from the basket. Now Dorsey turns the corner, finds Fall. And Fall drops a dime inside for Papanikolaou.
Sharing the sugar by the big fella. Did you see that? Liam, you have to love that if you coach Bartzokas.
Unselfish play here for Olympiacos. Efes really on the ropes early. They're down 7. Can they get a basket here as the media timeout beckons? And we've got a foul off the ball. Well, that horn will signal our first break in the action. It has been an electric start in the Stark Arena in the 22nd edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. The first of 2 semifinals tonight. Olympiacos up 7 here at the end of the media timeout.
This timeout is sponsored by Denizbank. Ladies and gentlemen,
all EuroLeague basketball clubs. One social goal: using the power of basketball to integrate communities. Bringing people together. Making positive social change. Teaching life skills through basketball. more than 23,000 participants. Connecting, inspiring, unifying, motivating, and respecting. Let's celebrate together the One Team 10th anniversary.
Well, One Team, Turkish Airlines, EuroLeague, corporate's social responsibility program. One Team program supported by Turkish Airlines as a founding patron, uses the power of basketball for the integration of our communities. We're talking about communities. We are all one team. This year, One Team celebrates its 10th anniversary as clubs and players from both the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague and 7 Days Euro Cup have been supporting this organization for 10 years, and they'll wear One Team badges on their uniforms, as you might see tonight. Well, Efes come out of the timeout with the possession. They're in desperate need of a score. Micic with a little leaner off the glass, and the lid, George, stays on the basket for Efes.
And that was a crucial possession, in my opinion, Liam. You coming out of the timeout, and the set play didn't work out there for Vasilije Micic and Efes.
Dorsey gets Larkin off his feet, lines up a three, it won't go. And Micic with the defensive rebound.
That was a lucky break there for Efes, because Dorsey had a good look at the basket, and with the way that he's been shooting the basketball lately in regular season and playoffs, I mean, that was a good chance the thing was going in.
Can Larkin end a scoring drought here for Efes? Going to try and get inside. Nice pass to Dunston. And I love this, George. You know, when you're struggling from the perimeter, get some penetration, break down the defense, and get a trip to the line.
Exactly. You see it on the slow replay, unselfish play by Shane Larkin, finding his big target, Brian Dunston. Brian Dunston a little bit undersized against Mustafa Fall, standing at 2 meters and 3 as he substituted the big fella Tibor Pleiss, but plenty of experience. Here you have him, Brian Dunston at the free throw line. One of the most experienced players, 2 times defensive player of the year. Played 2 seasons with Olympiacos, so much history with Brian Dunston here.
He is the all-time leader in blocks in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague history. In his 9th EuroLeague season, also has 2,000 points to his name, so you can't leave him alone as he converts 1 of 2 free throws.
And if you talk about counting it, it's a 7th season for Brian Dunston in the FS jersey. So he's one of the most experienced players for Coach Adamant.
Papanikolaou on the wing. Walkup's trying to set a little for big screen inside. It is a wrestling match in there. Fall establishes position in the low post. The crowd dribble and the score.
That's a tough matchup right there. Mustafa Fall playing with so much confidence on a single coverage, as you see Brian Dunston trying to hold his own. Mustafa Fall being very patient, very patient.
Just old school, back to the basket, basketball. Micic. His pass broken up, another deflection by Papanikolaou, so Micic gets to the dots, kicks it, and George, you know, although it's not turnovers, it's deflections which cause problems for the offense.
It's the activity. I mean, Olympiacos is clearly the aggressor in the first 7 minutes, of the game. We got 3.6 seconds to shoot, so it's gonna have to be a quick setup, and we got the first time Kostas Sloukas in the lineup, so that's an important moment, him coming into the game.
FS with 3.6 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Larkin, flashes back to the ball. Swallowed up. Dunston has to let fly, and Dunston knocks down the 3. And we should say, George, that we saw Dunston practicing those 3-point shots in tonight's warm-up.
That's amazing, because that's the word from the FS camp. Just watching the practice, Brian Dunston has been spending a lot more time on the outside shots.
Here's just his 5th 3 of the season. Well, it's timely. Oh, Papanikolaou. The ball's like a bar of soap. Powers it up, and Dunston with a block. Well, terrific defense this time by FS, but Papanikolaou just couldn't get the handle on the rock.
I thought he was surprised that everything opened up in front of him. He was all alone going to the basket, just could not handle the ball. But if you talk about the intensity, I mean, FS on that last defensive possession just absolutely matched the one of Olympiacos, as we have Elijah Bryan making a substitution and making a first appearance in the game for James Anderson.
FS trail by 4. It's a 2-possession game as Larkin makes the entry pass to Moorman. Both teams have been straight man-to-man throughout these opening minutes. Back into the hands of Larkin. Larkin lets fly with a 3. And finally, knocks down a three. Shane Larkin gets to the scoreboard.
That's his shot. I thought that Hassan Martin just did the right thing. He came up on the shooter, but Shane Larkin, if he gets in the zone as he reached 2,500 points for his EuroLeague career, that's a milestone to remember.
Congratulations to Larkin, who started his Turkish Airlines EuroLeague career with Baskonia back in 2016-2017. He's been with Efes for several seasons, and he makes that one even over the outstretched hands of Hassan Martin.
There's nothing that you can say to Hassan Martin. He just really came up, played it well defensively, but sometimes if Shane Larkin is on, there's nothing that you can do. One of the best scorers in EuroLeague. He can score in bunches, Liam.
He's had 2 games with over 40 points, one of them against Olympiacos when he nailed 10 threes. Speaking of threes, Papanikolaou's attempt is off the mark. The ball into the hands of Micic, and a chance now for Efes to get their noses in front for the first time in tonight's contest.
They are looking much more poised in the last 3-4 possessions. Ever since the timeout, actually, Liam, missing the first possession, but on target ever since.
That three is up and good from Elijah Bryant, and Anadolu Efes weathered an early storm, and they take their first lead in tonight's game.
And it's another premier shooter with Elijah Bryant, spending 2 seasons with Maccabi.
It's a 9-0 run here for Efes. Hassan Martin's shot just rolls out.
That's bad luck for Olympiacos. That perfect high percentage shot for Hassan Martin.
Singleton picks and pops. Now he's got to go find someone to screen. He's got a mismatch with Slukas in the low post. And the pass to Bryant. Couldn't grab it. Here's Micic. Oh, great inside-out dribble by Micic for the easy lay-in.
And we spoke about it yesterday, Liam. I gave you the philosophical question, is he a better shooter or driver? And you see he's absolutely versatile. He picks the right option.
Well, he started as a skier. He grew up in ski country in Serbia. He was a champion slalom skier. You can see this movement there. Moved to Belgrade as a youngster, and right there he's got the assist for Elijah Bryant, who knocks down the three.
Look at the outside shooting. If you look at beyond the three-point line, it's already 10 three-pointers, 4 made for Anadolu Efes, 5 attempts and 1 made for Olympiacos, so only 20%. The outside shooters taking a break a little bit early on for Olympiacos.
Well, Slukas gets to the line, and George, this is his 8th Final Four. 4 of them with Olympiacos and 4 of them with Fenerbahce. He's a 3-time EuroLeague champion, back-to-back with Olympiacos, and that 1 title with Fenerbahce in 2017.
What a career he's had. And you know, if we talk about the matchups this season, they split the games in this season, round 27, I think it was, there was the game in Olympiacos at Piraeus, and he decided with a shot at the buzzer.
Well, Singleton strolls down the lane. First attempt won't go. Second attempt rims out. And the defense collapses on Singleton, who missed a little bunny shot inside.
He stayed with it. I mean, this is what you want your shooter to follow through and make sure the ball goes into the basket, but just was surrounded by 3 Olympiacos players. So give credit to Olympiacos to also stay with it defensively.
Rodrigue Beaubois on the court for the first time. He was questionable coming into this weekend with an injury, but good to see him on the floor.
That's good news there for Coach Adaman if he can play. And that's Papanikolaou making the first three-pointer. So second one for Olympiacos in the game.
Walkup made the first. Papanikolaou with the second. Here's Beaubois. Glides to the basket. It won't go. And I think Bryant Dunstan's going to get called for a push in the back.
Yeah, it's a push-off. Referee Boris Rizic was there with the action. And since it's a bonus for Olympiacos, it's going to be 2 free throws. Papanikolaou, after making a 3-pointer, is going to go to the free throw line. And immediately, Liam, you can just sense the incredible atmosphere and the support by the Olympiacos fans.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They will play certainly a part in this. And we heard Coach Bartzokas in his pregame interview thanking the fans for their support all season, but they've made the journey from Piraeus here.
It's 1,100 kilometers to be precise from Piraeus here to Belgrade, to the city of basketball for the weekend. But I tell you what, I like the interview before Olympiacos came to the Final Four. Coach Bartzokas said, we love the Olympiacos fans and they support us so much, but at the same time we feel that we owe them We owe them to play every single game, every practice with 100% urgency and 100% efficiency.
Well, the fans have been to many cities throughout Europe as Olympiacos make their 11th appearance in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. There is Georgios Printases, the 37-year-old. We'll see if he features tonight. Olympiacos won their first title back in 1997 when they beat Barcelona in Paris. And we'll see Barcelona later tonight, George, in El Clasico as they go against Madrid in the second semifinal.
Right, how about Georgios Printases in his 19th EuroLeague season, 17 with Olympiacos, 2 with Malaga. You see him right there, the team captain. If you have a guy to take care of your locker room, I mean, I can't imagine anybody better than Georgios Printases.
Well, the first quarter draws to a close on that heave and hope from Rodrigue Beaubois. Both teams with runs. Olympiacos jumped out to an early lead, but Efes weathered the storm. And here's the score at the end of the first stanza. Olympiacos 21, Anadolu Efes 18. Well, first quarter highlights here in the first semifinal in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four as Olympiacos vie against Anadolu Efes. Thomas Walkup with the steal and finish. Good assist here inside to Mustafa Fall. Bajenkov, the unselfish play that epitomizes Olympiacos. And look at the emotion from Sasha Bajenkov. Mustafa Fall has been dominant inside, showing he can also move the ball along. And then after that early good period from Olympiacos, Efes finally found their rhythm. That three from Brian Dunstan, the catalyst to a little 9-0 run of their own. Larkin finding the bottom of the net from distance. And good to see Rodrigue Beaubois back to full fitness. Well, George, we're going to get a chance to take a look at some numbers and what jumps out here at you.
Yeah, I'm looking at Anadolu Efes getting it more down from distance. On the inside, it's Olympiacos. That's clear because Mustafa Fall is the high scorer after first quarter. I mean, perhaps it's a bit of a surprise there with Mustafa Fall scoring 7 points as the high scorer for Olympiacos.
Yeah, your leading scorer inside, George, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, it keeps the balance because they certainly have the shooters from the outside, as we see the best performer in the first quarter, 7 points and 2 assists for Kostas Papanikolaou with 11 performance index rating. So this Kostas Papanikolaou with his intensity and aggressive style of play just really making an impact here in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Speaking of intensity, the intensity from the fans here who are trying to make their presence and trying to support their team.
Let's speak about Rodrigue Beaubois. The last game that he played was April 22nd, Liam, to be precise, the second game of the series in the playoffs. He's been out with back spasms, perhaps some serious back spasms. No games played in the Turkish league, so it's been almost a month here for Rodrigue Beaubois without play. And you ask me what I like best about Anadolu Efes, I say the three-guard front as we are starting the second quarter. If he plays in some optimal kind of shape, Efes is going to be very valuable for Efes.
Well, Larkin starts with the basketball in his hands. Efes come out of the huddle with Dunstan, Bryant, Larkin, Beaubois, and Singleton, the 5 on the floor for Efes. The penetration from Larkin. A little reach there from Hassan Martin. And you can see what the Olympiacos fans think about that. A lot of leather on that call.
Yeah, it was a lot of ball, but you gotta give credit to Shane Larkin, who took the outside shots early on, but then he just really started to penetrate and look for his teammates there after the penetration. So giving up his body, going inside as Shane Larkin scoring 2 free throws to get the score or to get a deficit down to 1.
Just 1 point separates the two teams. Olympiacos come out with Slukas, Vajenkov, Martin Papanikolaou, and Shaquille McKissick with his first minutes. Martin on that high screen and roll. We talked about that, George, before the game, about how Martin, very different from Mustafa Fall, but gives you a bit more mobility in the high pick and roll game.
And a lot of power there. He's, so explosive after getting the ball. He likes to get the ball on the move in the lane. That's a little bit different from Mustafa Fall. You saw Mustafa Fall getting the ball back to the basket, establishing, getting contact, and going for a one-on-one move. Hassan Martin on the other side likes to get it on the run after the pick and roll situation. He's a roller. He's a rim attacker.
Well, Martin gets his first trip to the line.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, if you ask it for a player that gives you a lot of boost and energy off the bench, there's none better than Shaquille McKissick.
Plenty of energy and athleticism from McKissick.
He had a big game in Game 5 in the playoffs. 18 points in 17 minutes against Monaco.
Here's Bryant. The little floater in the lane is up and good. Elijah Bryant with the deuce. And we're knotted up at 22 each.
Doesn't he look so smooth? He doesn't force anything. You just see he just steps into the shots or goes for the easy penetration.
Here's Slukas with the ball in his hand, snaps a pass to Bajenkov and gets it back. Turns the corner and Slukas lets fly with a three and strings it.
That's a tough one, but how many times we've seen it from Kostas Slukas? As you said, this is the 8th Final Four for Kostas.
Not overwhelmed by the moment. FS with the perfect riposte. They come right back. And right now, Bryant's got the hot hand, and you love that hot hand theory.
That's a hot hand. They go on to him like Mustafa Fall was the hot man for Olympiacos early on. Now it's Elijah Bryant for Anadolu Efes.
Slukas around 2 screens. Drops a pass inside to Martin. Bajenkov. Nice pass back to Martin. And good patience inside for Martin as he draws the foul and will go right back to the free throw line.
You see it again, it was the extra pass made and Hassan Martin just pump faking. You see it right here. He knows the contact is coming. He gets 3 players of Anadolu off the floor. So he's just bracing for impact. As you see the 3-pointer by Kostas Slukas, a tough one, going to his right. Obviously he's the left-hander. So a great shot by Kostas Slukas to claim the 1-point lead.
Slukas made that 3 to win it. These two teams, as you mentioned in passing, George, played each other twice during the season. They split way back in November in round 10. FS won comfortably at home, 88-69. But more recently, in February, Slukas made the 3 in the corner at the buzzer. Olympiacos won 87-85 in that round 26 contest.
And that was an overtime win too, Liam.
Yeah, that's right. It was an overtime. You're exactly right. You are on your game tonight, big fella.
Thank you, mate.
Olympiacos up by 3. Prindisi's on the floor for his first action. Now Slukas exposed in the low post. Gets some help from Martin. Singleton powers it up. It won't go. And the ball ends up in the hands of Shaquille McKissick, who probes in the open floor.
We got Tibor Pleiss back into the lineup for Efes.
We like to pick out those big men, part of the big man union. Do you carry your big man card with you wherever you go?
You always pick on me. You always remind me of my shortcomings, Liam. And there you have the answer to the question that you posed a moment ago. If Georgios Printis is going to show up in the game today, if he's going to get some minutes, and sure he does. It's only 12 minutes that have gone by in the first semifinal. And it's Georgios Printis on the floor as he was fouled in that last sequence.
Here's Slukas. Kicks to Prindis, gets it back. Patrols along the baseline. A little touch inside. The left-handed finish from Hassan Martin.
Beautiful pass and a quick pass by Hassan Martin. He did not take a split second to set his feet, just immediately reacted.
Here's Beaubois. Little bounce pass to Pleiss. He sprays it out to Larkin. Larkin got it.
He is in the zone, Liam. He's not thinking an extra second about his shot. He's stepping into it. That's what you like to see with you, one of the best shooters on the team. Scores for sure.
3 of 5 from distance. Slukas finds his backcourt mate Thomas Walkup. Good composure from Walkup, but he left it short. And now Larkin wants to put some pace into the game.
He's up to 11 points, Shane Larkin.
They'll move it on to Pleiss, and Pleiss showing some athleticism and mobility. A little tip in to finish off the deuce.
He's a big target. If he gets it on the run, if he puts the ball high up, there's not that much you can do. He's 2 meters 21, the tallest player here in the Final Four.
29 each. This game been close the whole way. McKissick darts to the basket and lays it up and in with the scoop and score.
He just put his jets on. I've seen so many times in the open court, Shaquille McKissick.
They provide some athleticism to this Olympiacos backcourt. Now, Bryant with a mismatch, guarded by March on the perimeter. Pleiss with a mismatch inside. McKissick comes over to help out. Pleiss trying to pass out of the double team. And Prentices with the flush in transition.
There was a little miscue. I thought that Shane Larkin touched the ball, so he didn't want to have the backcourt violation. He kind of waited for the 24 shot clock violation, which I thought I heard the horn sound off.
Well, here's your score here at the break, 33-29. Olympiacos up 4. Well, Turkish Airlines flight time. We'll take a look at who spends the most time in the air, covers the most distance. Thomas Walkup, 0.74 seconds. With the reverse lay-in. Poetry in motion, George. Good finish there from the Texan.
That's what came to mind when he said poetry in motion. Such a smooth move there by Thomas Walkup, using the rim to protect his shot. A smart move, and he gets the Turkish Airlines flight time so far in the game. And this is the action that we spoke about before. The steal by Walkup and a setup for Georgios Prentices to finish the fast break.
Well, like you, George, I thought I heard a buzzer, and I'm not sure if we're going to see this, but Shane Larkin goes to his ears to signal to the referee that he thought he heard a shot clock violation as well.
That's what I thought. He was expecting stoppage in time and the out-of-bounds play, but it did not happen. And there you see the emotions with both Thomas Walkup and Georgios Prentices. They are certainly fired up 4 at the moment, Olympiacos, in the second quarter.
Yeah, good opportunism from Walkup and Prentices.
But sometimes you get lucky, especially if you're the aggressive party.
Yeah,
if
that's
you initiate
exactly right.
the contact, the referees sometimes give you the break.
Yeah, good hustle by both Walkup and Prentices. Micic back onto the floor. Olympiacos up by 4. Now Pleiss, guarded by Slukas. And Slukas gets exposed in the low post. He commits the foul. He's been isolated in the low post a couple of times, George, with mismatches, has Slukas.
Oh, it's a tactical foul by Kostas Slukas as he was guarding the biggest man on the floor, Tibor Pleiss. He rather took one for the team. It's only a second team foul for Olympiacos, so not an issue.
Sideline out of bounds here for Anadolu Efes. Micic passed up the open look at a 3. The little laner inside won't go, and Bryant gets his nose in to come up with the offensive rebound, and Larkin knocks down the 3, a timely 3 from Shane Larkin.
And this is dangerous here for Olympiacos. If Shane Larkin gets in his zone, as you said before, he can get up to 40 points, no problem.
Here's Slukas on the wing. Gets to the short corner, back to Martin, and that little push shot a la Prentices from Hassan Martin.
And this is the shot that you see Hassan Martin practicing before the game. And again, another three-point attempt by Shane Larkin. He took an early 3.
Just past the midway mark of the second quarter, Olympiacos up 3, just one possession. Again, along the baseline goes Slukas. Deep basket cut from Walkup. And Martin just powers it up and in. Hassan Martin, too strong for Tibor Pleiss.
But what a fundamental move there by Hassan Martin as he waits and takes the body, leans into Tibor Pleiss to use his power.
Here's Micic. Well, Micic spills it, turned it over. Walkup comes up with it. It's a 5-on-4 here for Olympiacos. McKissick in the corner, doesn't get it from Slukas. And McKissick had a clean look at a 3 from the corner.
That's good patience by Olympiacos to back it out.
Walkup just spills it. So turnover from Micic, return by Walkup.
That was an unforced error there by Thomas Walkup, a rare mistake.
Deep 3 from Micic, the heel of the rim. It's a 2-on-1 opportunity here for Slukas, making a 3-on-1. Well, the trailer is Shaquille McKissick. He goes hard to the rack.
And I'm not sure if you saw the stats that flashed there on the screen. It's 2 team turnovers to 4 in favor of Olympiacos. And you see the replay of that last action there on the fast break. Shaquille McKissick getting fouled by Vasilije Mitic, who was trying to set his feet outside the circle and take a charge, but he was still moving, so the referees called a foul.
Yeah, great work by our production crew, George. As you can see, Mitic was just above the circle. And the contact just to the side of the chest as well.
I thought he was
settled.
I thought he was still moving.
Yeah, exactly right. I think he didn't establish that position. Exactly right.
What do you think about the stats? Only 2 turnovers for Olympiacos and 4 for Anadolu. I think it's a high.
Yeah, it's funny because I think we talked about this before. I mean, coaches don't like turnovers at all, but,
yeah,
you need to have an acceptable number. So the coaches talk about maybe 12 turnovers throughout the course of a game.
But this is such a high-pressure situation. I mean, this is one-game scenario that you have to win, and you have to praise the players with the way they've been mentally that they are approaching the game. Tells you so much about the experience of these players and how well they've been prepared for this moment.
Well, 7 points for Olympiacos, the difference.
That's the biggest of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly right. The largest lead for Olympiacos tonight. Larkin guarded by Prindesses. You can see the help from Slukas on the side, and McKissick. There was no way they were going to isolate Prindesses on his own.
Did you see the speed that Shane Larkin just turned the corner? Look at that right here. I mean, he just goes right there. That's the first step, and he goes by immediately by Georgios Prindesses. And Georgios Prindesses, I mean, he's 37 years of age, but he still can move his feet.
Yeah, no doubt about that call, the reaching foul. And because Larkin picked up the ball, George, I guess he's in the act of shooting. Is that usually how referees determine that?
Well, I think so. I mean, he took the step towards the basket. I thought it was a good call by the referees, by Oleg Zlatišev, one of the umpires, to give 2 free throws to Shane Larkin.
We should commend our referees as well throughout the course of the season. And they've been chosen to come to the Final Four weekend. What an honor for the referees.
Oh, absolutely. And for the young referees to come to the Adidas Next Generation Tournament. They're learning their ropes and getting supervised by the referee department by Richard Stokes. So a platform to educate as well, Liam, for the referees.
The Next Generation Tournament taking place here in Belgrade as well. Stars of the future getting a chance to taste EuroLeague basketball at an early point in their career. Here's Slukas around the screen of foul. Good defense here from Efes. Slukas with another 3. That one's too strong. And Moorman comes out with a rebound.
And that was the same spot that he hit the 3-pointer in the first quarter. A tough one again, contested.
Finally, Slukas finds the bottom. I beg your pardon, Mitic finds the bottom. And a look at some FS fans here lending their support.
1 out of 4 for Vasilije Mitic, so he finally hits one from distance.
Down the gut to fall. You can see how Dunstan's walling up, trying to move him away from the lane. Good defense by Brian Dunstan. And a touch foul from James Anderson on Shaquille McKissick.
That was a good take and drive to the baseline by Shaquille McKissick. As you said before, he just likes to put his head down, his shoulders down, and attack the basket in the open court. So not much of a break there for Shane Larkin. I mean, how much did he come out for? Like less than a minute. A slight edge there on the rebounding, 16-12 for Anadolu Efes. So perhaps it's 11-6 fouls, 11 for Anadolu and 6 for Olympiacos. 7 3-pointers scored for Anadolu, only 3 for Olympiacos.
McKissick in his 3rd EuroLeague season. The American converts both free throws. Larkin, that quick break on the bench, trying to break down Slukas. They'll give it to Dunstan. Dunstan rises, and he gets a little love from the rim.
That was amazing, the ball. I mean, with the athletes that we have here in the game, I would have suspected somebody was going to swat the ball from the rim, but it just stayed there for a long, long time, and it finally fell in.
The team assists 13 and 10. These teams average 17 assists throughout the course of the year. Authoritative rebound there from Mormon.
Wow, he just snatched it down, Adrian Mormon.
It's a tough foul now here on Slukas, George. You know, he's guarding on the perimeter, just reaches. Look at this replay, the ball, it's on the way out, George. It looks like it's gonna fall out.
That is amazing, and Mustafa Fall was just in such a near vicinity, just could not gather up and go up to swat it away from the rim. That's a second foul here for Kostas Slukas, so he's gonna come out of the game. A protective move by Coach Bartzokas.
Yeah, he's a little agitated as well, but I don't think he's got any complaints on that foul. It's definitely a reaching foul. Larkin now trying to walk up, switches back onto him. Micic, nice up fake by Micic, and he steps into a three.
That's a second three-pointer in a row for Vasily and Micic, and I'll tell you what, if you talk about a combo of Vasily and Micic and Shane Larkin is one of the best backcourts in Europe, if not the best in EuroLeague. They are heating up.
Larkin, first team all EuroLeague this year. Micic, second team all EuroLeague, so you are right, it is a dynamic duo. Here's Walkup. Bozhenkov, that's a 4-3 from Bozhenkov. It's off the mark. And Efes now, with a good passage of play, look to extend their lead this trip down the floor.
The momentum just goes back to Efes. Olympiacos had it for a moment.
Inside a minute to play here in your opening half. Larkin gets to the dots. His runner won't go. Olympiacos look to break. It's a 5-on-3 here for Olympiacos if they can exploit the numbers. And McKissick lays it up and in. Good transition basketball here from Olympiacos.
That was an easy one for Shaquille McKissick after the collision. I thought that Brian Dunstan was really shaken up after the collision there.
Dunstan just sets a pick for Micic now. Micic gets the mismatch with Fall. Finds Larkin in space. It won't go. And we'll get one more possession here as we wind down the first half in our first semifinal in the 22nd edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Walk up between the circles. The Olympiacos fans rise to their feet here as we wind down this first half. Walk up, runs into a sea of white, finds McKissick who lets fly, and McKissick's shot is off the mark. That buzzer signals the shot clock and the end of the second quarter. So after 20 minutes of play here from the Stark Arena in Belgrade, this game is perfectly poised as both teams try to advance to the finals. Three-time champions, Olympiacos, the last team to win back-to-back titles in 2012 and 2013, facing the reigning champions, Anadolu Efes, who seek to go back-to-back. Here's your score at the halftime intermission. Olympiacos 43, Anadolu Efes 42 in tonight's first semifinal.
Hey, saying good half. It seems like you guys were affected offensively by a lot of deflections, a lot of bad plays, but you kept the team in the game.
They're playing hard defensively, using their hands a lot. We just got to keep down the turnovers, pick up our defensive intensity, and we should be good.
Good luck in the second half. Kostas, I felt like you guys were the better team through most of that first half, but you can't get away from them. What do you have to do defensively?
No, it's not enough. We play semi-final, we have to be more tougher and we have to play smarter. They have talent and they come back easy. We have to continue. Thank you.
Good luck.
Well, a look here at the performance of Kostas Slukas and Shane Larkin. George, we identified these two players as a head-to-head to keep an eye on throughout the game, and right now, Larkin getting the better of Slukas 16-5.
Shane Larkin had a phenomenal first half as far as scoring. I mean, he was one of the main reasons why Anadolu Efes came back into the game.
Turkish Airlines. 7 days. BKT. Adidas. And Siesta. official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, first half highlights here in the first semi-final as three-time champions Olympiacos trying to get to the finals, facing Anadolu Efes. Nice assist here from Vajenkov, who moves it on to Mustafa Fall. Fall was dominant in the opening minutes of play, and you can see what the Olympiacos team think about it. Shane Larkin found his touch from the perimeter. The American with 16 points, most of them from behind the arc. Larkin rising there over Thomas Walkup. Shane Larkin, a first-team All-EuroLeague selection this year. A bit of fortune here from Olympiacos and heady play by Walkup, who's going to move it on to Georgios Prindices, who knows what to do with it when he gets it in the halo. Prindices rises for the easy flush, and Olympiacos at this stage are flying, sending both teams in to the timeout. You can see what it means here to the Olympiacos fans who traveled in their numbers. George, a quick look at the numbers here from the first half of play.
There you see Anadolu Efes getting the upper hand in the three-point shooting, 47-25. There's no question. Also 18-14 in favor of Anadolu Efes on the boards.
Well, Shane Larkin garners best performance honors in that second quarter. 10 points, 10 of the 16 for the American, 4 assists as well. And you can see that after a slow start, really found his rhythm. That's a good thing for Anadolu Efes fans.
Shane Larkin, 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. It's 50%. That's always good news there for Coach Ergin Ataman.
Well, it's halftime here in the first semifinal in the Stark Arena.
So Kasalaikis catches, pump fakes, blocked by Dante Hall. Oh, what a follow-up from Jeremy Evans. And it's Panathinaikos' turn to power the offensive glass.
Pass intended for Papianis, off the mark. It's a jailbreak here for Asbal and the Thunderdog from Antetokounmpo. Well, he is electric, and he's telling everybody all about it.
Getting away from Tomasiakos, Wilbekin looks it off and then does throw it over to Derek Williams, who throws him down one-handed. Lovely work.
Tell to the hoop, deflected by Tarczewski. And now Vidi had a break, and Tarczewski one more time. Oh, he gets swatted from behind by Poirier.
Nonnelly tries to find a crease, draws a double team, which means Jalen Reynolds can fly through with the one-handed throwdown. And Maccabi are electrifying at the moment. No stopping them. It's big play after big play right now.
Macon Jr. traveling at pace. Jeremy Evans soaring through the skies, getting some altitude in Athens. Giffey, Hazard desperate to pick his pocket. Wrestled it off 2 of them. Hazard gets some hang time. Special and spectacular through the Istanbul air.
And again, it's Paris Lee. The game is over. Howard beats the end of quarter. Oh, what drama! Oh my goodness! An absolutely extraordinary conclusion to a domestic duel played out on the EuroLeague stage. Absolutely incredible end.
Defense. Dorsey skips to McKissick. Oh, nice ball fake by McKissick! And Kyle Hines meets him at the rim! Oh, what a set of McKissick! How do you do?
Vasilija Micic working on Mustafa Fall once again, takes it right to him, goes glass, he's come up short. And Kostas Lukas with an opportunity to win it. He kicks to the corner, Shaquille McKissick hesitates, gives it back to Lukas, pump fake, beats the shot clock buzzer, and at the death in overtime, Kostas Lukas connecting from downtown to give his team a famous victory here at the Peace and
trying to break down Vazenkov. Moves it on to Bacon, shot clock at 5. Bacon inside the Hall! And Dante Hall with the one-handed cram jam. Nice pass from Bacon, and Hall still got some work to do in traffic.
Quickness from Shane Larkin on the baseline. Oh my goodness! Oh, what a move from Shane Larkin! Breaking the ankles of Devin Hall, leaving him sprawled on the hardwood.
Dorsey looking for foul. Spins away from Mote Younas. Mustafa Foul taking no prisoners in the paint here in the Principality.
McKissick in the corner. McKissick with a house call! Shaquille McKissick! Shaq with a rack attack!
Mitsic working the jab step against Ben Bentil. He attacks the lane, goes dot, swatted away by Kyle Hines. His second block in quick succession, patrolling the paint magnificently. The second leading shot blocker of all time, turning back the reigning MVP with a statement rejection.
Nobody gets him the rock. He's still looking for it. Here it is. Kicks it out. Anga to the hoop. Adam Anga with the cut down the middle. Throwing it down. Adam Anga from the assist of Tavares. What a play.
Getting active. Look at the speed from Dwayne Bacon. Slapped away against the backboard from Kostas Papanikolaou. And that brings the crowd to their feet here at the Peace and Friendship Stadium.
Some pressure. Yeah, walk up with a chance to double T. Now we go to the rim! Thomas walk up with a steal and score! And it gets Papaloukas off his feet. Well, Thomas walk up doubles down on the ball. He comes from behind and he goes right to the rack.
He just checked it in. Last time he checked in, he had 3 threes in a row. This time he's going to turn the ball over. It's going to be Sorkin all by himself. Oh! Sorkin with the windmill dunk. Yabusele coming from behind to try to block it. Sorkin.
Smith's battling to get away from Hunter. It's for Exum on the perimeter. And oh my word! Oh my word! Dante Exum with the astonishing slam in the face of Othello Hunter.
Turkish Airlines, 7 days, BKT, Adidas, and Siesta, official global sponsors in association with the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
Well, welcome back to the Stark Arena here in Belgrade. It's halftime in the first semi-final in the 22nd edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague Final Four. Olympiacos Piraeus up a penny here over Anadolu Efes as the players make their way out of the halftime changing rooms. We'll talk to the coaches first. Coach Ataman.
Coach Ataman, 8 3-pointers have kept you in this game in the first half, but 11 for 15 under the paint for Olympiacos. You have to do something defensively to change that.
We had a problem to defending two big guys, Mustafa Fall and Hassan Martin. But the other problem, we found a way. They play aggressive. They play more aggressive than us. We shot only 6 free throws. They shot 15 free throws.
Good luck, Coach.
Well, George, take a look here at the shot chart for Anadolu Efes in that first half.
Yeah, that was a good point. I mean, Anadolu Efes staying in the game with the outside shooting. You see the successful three-pointers, 8 out of 17, 47%, Liam. That's a very high number.
Yeah.
If they can keep it up, they got an excellent chance of winning this game.
Yeah, you'd be pleased with anything above 40% as a
Absolutely.
team. But no fast break points. We'll talk now to Coach Bartzokas.
Coach, you're a man after my own heart. You started the game inside out, went right into Mustafa Fall. Was that part of the game plan all week to attack the paint and then go outside?
It's our creators, they have to react to read the game. You know, whatever the defense is giving us, we need to take advantage of this. We had some low post action, but we share the ball a little bit, you know, with patience. The thing is that we're to be more consistent on defense.
Tight game, good luck in the second half.
Well, inside out play, exactly right, George. Mustafa Fall got lots of touches inside.
And look at Hassan Martin. He's the top scorer with 9 points. So he got 9 points from Martin and 7 from Mustafa Fall. So that's 16 points that have been scored by the big fellas out of 43 for Olympiacos. There you see the stats. Points off turnover, 7 there. Speaks the volume about the aggressiveness of Olympiacos and the steals they got in the open court, and they finished with the layup.
Yeah, George, you know, we talked about this before the game tonight about rotations, right? So through the course of the season, coaches need rotations, as we show you some of the images from this opening half. But when you get to the Final Four stage, you get to the playoffs, does the bench become a bit shorter? Are there limited minutes, as we show you the perfect images here from this opening 20 minutes of play? And here you go, Martin only plays 14 minutes a game. He's come off the bench and he's pitched in 9 points.
You know, I think in the second half, I will use the quote from Coach Bartzokas that he did in the pregame. As you see the perfect images of the emotions that we've seen here in the first half, I would say that the big players are going to step up. That is my expectation.
By big players, you mean your stars. You're talking
Exactly.
about Slukas. You're talking about who struggled in that first half.
I call them the usual suspects, Liam.
It just so happens that 4 of the all EuroLeague players are on the floor tonight. 2 from each team, Slukas and Vezenkov from Olympiacos, and Larkin and Micic from Efes, the stars that you were talking about. We'll see who the coaches send out here as their starting 5.
Well, I see Mustafa Fall there making a start in the second half, as you would expect. And it's going to be interesting if Anadolu Efes is going to make some adjustment there defensively. There you see the top scorer in the game with 16 points, Shane Larkin.
He's already above his season average of 14.5.
And look at the assists. He's above the average with assists of 6.
So he's providing for others and scoring. Good performance from the American.
There's a lot in itself, 16 and 6. That's not a bad line for the whole game.
Yeah, you take that at the end of a game for sure. Well, if you were with us in the first half, welcome back. If you're just joining us from somewhere else, a very warm welcome to you. Dobro došli, as they say here. Welcome in Serbian. We are in the capital of Serbia in Belgrade. Anadolu Efes in the white, Olympiacos in the red. Just 1 point separates these 2 teams as they seek to advance to the finals of the Final Four. The Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Larkin scoop and score, rims out and Fall with the defensive rebound.
All right, Mustafa Fall had a good defensive position that bothered the shot by Larkin at least a little bit, making thought about the shot.
Let's get the 5s organized on the floor for Olympiacos. It's walk up, Vezenkov, Dorsey, Fall, and Papanikolaou, the same 5 who started the game. And inside, Mustafa Fall making his presence known.
Absolutely, the presence is felt by Mustafa Fall. Tibor Pleiss is at the bench. Coach Adaman made a decision to go with the more powerful bruiser with Brian Dunstan, who just committed the foul right here.
You can see how the white jerseys collapse along the basketball. Efes start with Larkin, Singleton, Bryant, Micic, and Dunstan. Pleiss, who started the game, starts on the bench in this second half.
That was an offensive foul in the screen. Mustafa Fall moved that time, got a piece of another little player coming around him, so a turnover, a rare turnover to say for Olympiacos. Only a 3rd one in the game, Liam.
Yeah, impressive. 4 turnovers for Efes, 3 for Olympiacos. Both teams have been good with the basketball in their hands. Larkin to Dunstan. Good quick ball movement to Bryant. Nice passing from Efes.
And he is playing without emotions, if you ask me. He's been stepping into the shots, driving, taking quick shots on the inside. Elijah Bryant enjoying a great semifinal so far. It's point number 10. He's in the double digits in scoring.
The graphic across the bottom of your screen showing who's on the floor here right now. Dorsey, 16-footer rattles home.
That was a nice individual action there for Tyler Dorsey.
Just his first point of the night. We're knotted up at 45. Larkin's 3 off the mark.
That was a 9th attempt there for Shane Larkin.
Walk up, directing traffic. Here's Papanikolaou, top of the key. He's got space to knock down a 3. And he got his wires crossed, he got his feet twisted, and he turned it over.
I thought there for a moment the players just clustered in a very small area.
Yeah, spacing such a big part of basketball, isn't it, George? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if players can shoot, this is exactly what you want to do. You want to stretch out the defense as much as you can.
4 turnovers each. Micic probes, keeps his dribble alive. Gets to the halo, a little up fake from Micic. Creates the contact and earns a trip to the line.
A gutsy move right there by Vasilije Micic to challenge Mustafa Fall, who stands at 2 meters 18 on the inside. You see right here, you think that Fall's got him covered, but a great pump fake there by Vasilije Micic. That shows you the experience of last year's MVP and the top scorer of the competition this season. What a special Final Four it is for Vasilije Micic to be playing in his home city of Belgrade. That's where everything started for him with Megalex.
Yeah, exactly right. And of course, Megalex playing at the Next Generation tournament as well.
28 years of age, Vasilije Micic at the free throw line. That was point number 9. This is the second one, so he does not get into double digits in scoring department. Vasilije Micic.
Micic, the Alfonso Ford winner this year, top scorer with 18.2 points per game. He joins the likes of Alexei Shved, Mike James, Keith Langford, Nando DiColo. We've all won this accolade in the past. Yeah, right down the gut. And so Olympiacos start the second half, George, in a similar fashion to the way they started the game. Touches inside for Mustafa Fall.
And you know, I like this sort of game, not because I'm a former big man, but I like to see the balance. You know, a lot of teams settle if things are not going well, it's a high-pressure situation, they settle for the outside shot. This is the easy way out, but Olympiacos tries to establish balance.
Right now, they're clearing out for Fall, leaving him alone. And Brian Dunstan with some good defense in the low post.
Perhaps too much time to space out and put everybody in the right position.
Larkin keeps his dribble alive. He's guarded by Papanikolaou. It's an interesting assignment for Papanikolaou, trying to use his length to get to the shots from Larkin. Singleton, top of the key, knocks down a 3. Timely 3 from Chris Singleton.
That's another big man who can shoot a shot there. You see the defensive sequence. The ball just stuck for too long in Mustafa Fall's hands. And here's the 3-pointer by Chris Singleton. He's known as a good shooter, Liam, over the years from the outside.
Vazenkov, his shot strikes the front of the rim. And Efes have got their tails up here as we start the second half. Micic, sideline break, skips a pass to Larkin. And Larkin just steps to the basket. Easy lay-in for Shane Larkin.
He is so aggressive with the ball. You cannot rest a second there. He splits the defense. He goes between Vazenkov and Walk up there for the easy deuce. Shane Larkin, the high scorer in the game.
Well, that buzzer signals a timeout from Coach Patsokis. Olympiacos sluggish to start the second half. Efes jump out in front. We've got our first timeout here as Olympiacos find themselves down 6 points here at the timeout. Well, a feature in this year's Final Four, Flight Time, brought to you by Turkish Airlines. From the second quarter, it's the oldest guy in the gym who rises the highest. Georgios Prindases in the top 5 in scoring all time in Turkish Airlines EuroLeague history. Easy 2 for Prindases, and look what it means to him. Rolling back the years, showing the emotion off the assist from Thomas Walkup.
He gives us hope, Liam, I'll tell you that. I mean, he doesn't move like your usual 37-year-old, I'll tell you that.
Exactly right.
You know, interesting stat about Chris Singleton. He started his EuroLeague career with Coach Bartzokas at Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar.
Yeah, that's the other team that Coach Bartzokas brought to the Final Four, Loco Kuban.
2016 in Berlin.
Exactly right.
What a Cinderella story there for the Russian side.
Malcolm Delaney, I think, was part of that Loco Kuban team. Of course, Delaney played with the Milan team. Milan had such a great season. They just had some key injuries going into their playoff series against Anadolu Efes.
And that's the variable of sports. That's why it's so unpredictable. You can have your key players go down and everything changes in a heartbeat.
Well, the measure of a good timeout is, can you execute a good offense and get a good look?
This is a crucial possession. Down 6, Olympiacos needs to score.
Papanikolaou got it. He heard you, George.
Perfect execution, good patience, good ball movement. Kostas Papanikolaou gets the open look at the basket, scores the three-pointer.
Larkin flashes back to the ball.
He's got ball in his hands awful lot of time.
Dunstan to Bryant. Bryant, the perfect response for FS. The corner three-pointer from Elijah Bryant.
The other corner, Elijah Bryant. What a game by him. 13 points for him. 2 for 2 from 2 and 3 out of 3 from the outside, Liam. Perfect shooting game.
A pass intended for Fall. A little bit too close for him to catch. Another turnover for Olympiacos, and FS a chance to get their largest lead tonight this trip down the floor. Bryant kicks again. And another three from the corner!
And Elijah Bryant finally showing some emotions there as he turns and faces the Olympiacos bench. He waited for that. He did not jump on the jump shot. Just scored it so smoothly.
Bryant Dunstan with the assist. Fall. Kicks to Vizhenkov. Extra pass. Papanikolaou. His three is off the mark. And right now, Olympiacos don't know where their points are going to come from. The question for me, George, is when do they bring in Slukas with those 2 fouls?
And surely they're going to have to. You see animated Coach Bartzokas there on the sidelines. He's trying to motivate his troops. But good hustle play there by Mustafa Fall as he saved the possession for Olympiacos.
This 9-point lead for FS, the largest that any team has enjoyed tonight. Baseline out of bounds for Olympiacos, desperate to try and get something on the board. Here's Dorsey. Closed out by Larkin. Fall again, another touch inside. The double team comes, and it's bad spacing here from Olympiacos. Vizhenkov forces the three as he and Walkup were both in the corner. Right now, Olympiacos out of sync.
That's 5 on 4, and Bryant almost scored a three-pointer from the fast break.
Larkin rises. Larkin's shot is short. Elijah Bryant with an offensive rebound. Another possession here, but Walkup steals it. Now, can Walkup go the distance?
That is amazing. You already have 24 attempts and 12 makes for Anadolu Efes, 50% shooting from the three-point line. I mean, if you say that the guards decided today's game in basketball, it's certainly, if you're shooting well from the outside, you stand a great chance of winning a game.
I know that hurts you to say that, George. Guards deciding basketball games. You're growing so much in your old age now, appreciating guard play. Micic, speaking of guard play, drops a dime inside, and Brian Dunstan with a flush, and right now, FS are rolling.
It's been all FS. Brian Dunstan coming off the bench, filling in for Tibor Plyce, having a great game with 9 points.
Here's Dorsey. Can he finally get something going? He can. A big, big three for Tyler Dorsey.
Tyler Dorsey had a great season so far. It's only his 5th point. All points scored in the second half for Tyler Dorsey. There you see the team assists, 16 and 16. Very high number for the game.
You can see Slukas getting ready to come in the game. Micic knocks down a three of his own. Vasilij Micic keeps that comfortable lead for Anadolu Efes.
And Efes is shooting over 50% again from the distance.
Here's Walkup, a little hesitation. Moves it on to Dorsey. And Dorsey fouled by Shane Larkin. Is he in the act of shooting, or is it possession?
That's only 2nd personal foul on Shane Larkin in this one-on-one matchup against Tyler Dorsey.
Well, it's Micic with the reach.
Is that
and George, that's the third foul on Vasily
it's on
Micic.
Micic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a big moment.
It is a big
possibly
moment.
a big moment.
Micic stays on the floor with the 3 fouls. We'll see if Olympiacos attack him on offense. Dorsey rises over Larkin. Tough basket by Tyler Dorsey.
And that's a gutsy play right there for Coach Adamant to keep Vasily Micic on the floor and see how long he stays with 3 fouls.
Well, Micic, his shot blocked by Papanikolaou. Great defense by Papanikolaou. Vazenkov moves it on to Dorsey. And Singleton with the foul to stop the transition play.
That was a smart play. It's only 4th team foul there. You see the block by Papanikolaou. Great defensive play. You speak so much about his reach and the way that he can recover against shooters. Stay in front of him.
Got terrific defense by Papanikolaou. Just the first block tonight for Olympiacos. Coach Ataman just querying something on the sideline. So now Micic will come out, George, with those 3 fouls. And James Anderson comes in.
How about Kostas Papanikolaou? He's been playing for so long that in season 2012-13 he was the Rising Star Trophy winner.
Yeah, that's right.
William.
Yeah,
that's
right.
10 years ago.
Dorsey, stop and pop. It won't fall. Fall with the offensive rebound to Vazenkov. And Vazenkov, string music from Sasha Vazenkov.
That was an important basket. Olympiacos has been lackadaisical there, and they just could not been able to find good shooting positions. Big 3-pointer by Vazenkov.
It makes it a 2-possession game. Larkin trying to extend the lead. The Olympiacos fans really making their presence known. Good defense by Vazenkov. Shot clock running down. Larkin has to let it go. It won't fall, but an offensive rebound. Another one for FS. This one, James Anderson, who just stepped into the game. Dunston scores off the window. Brian Dunston, strong move inside.
That is experience by Brian Dunston. He just used his body to shield away from the defender. Beautiful move.
8 offensive rebounds for FS. And those extra chances to score really add up at the end.
And that's Kostas Lukas aggressive there offensively. He found a seam there in defense, attacked it immediately, picked up the foul. And that's 5th team foul there for Anadolu Efes. So you got 2 free throws for Kostas Lukas.
Brian Dunston picks up his 4th personal. So a little bit of adversity now here for FS as Dunston has 4 and Micic has 3 personals.
Brian Dunston, that's correct. In 19 minutes and 22 seconds, he's already picked up his 4th foul. Look at his line, 3 out of 3 for 2, 1 out of 1 for 3, and 2 free throws out of 2 for Brian Dunston. So he played a great game up until now.
George, just to pick you up on your comment about Papanikolaou, he's in his 12th EuroLeague season. He's approaching 2,000 points coming into tonight's game. Needed just 18 points to hit that marker. Some pressure up the floor here from Olympiacos.
Of course, all of those seasons with Olympiacos, only 1 season in Barcelona.
Yeah. We will see Barcelona later tonight as they will play against Madrid in tonight's 2nd semifinal. Dorsey with a steal to Vazenkov. Back to Dorsey. Dorsey spins in the lane. It won't go.
What a beautiful athletic move there for Tyler Dorsey in the open court. The way that he spun and just drew the contact on Chris Singleton. Not sure Chris Singleton was almost trying to get out of the way. That's the turnover right there by Elijah Bryan. The ball goes immediately to fast break. And that's pure athleticism. That is speed, Liam.
Yeah, it's quickness, agility.
Coordination.
And the steal starts with Dorsey. One of these deflections, picks up the loose ball. And a good 2-on-1 between Dorsey and Vazenkov. Just missed the free throw. You know, when you're chasing the game from behind and you get a chance to put points on the board with that clock stop, you really need to capitalize.
That's a 4th missed free throw there for Olympiacos, 14 out of 18.
Just Dorsey's first trip to the line and he misses them both.
That could hurt Olympiacos down the road because, as you said and pointed well, if you have 2 teams that are so close to each other in every statistical category, you need to capitalize on every single situation.
Just over a minute to play here in the third quarter. Singleton in the low post. Micic upstairs to Pleiss, and Pleiss leaves it up and in, right in the death of the shot clock.
I thought he was gonna dunk it in, but he just decided to go with the backboard shot off the bank for Tibor Pleiss. That's 6 points for Tibor.
Vizhenkov, his lay-in is up and good as the teams exchange baskets. Here's Anderson on the wing. Both teams have been nothing but man-to-man defense throughout this contest. Anderson to the short corner. Extra pass to Larkin. Shot clock running down. Larkin with the runner. It won't go. And Papanikolaou with the rebound. Now Olympiacos with a chance to get the final score here of the third quarter. FS are in the penalty. Dorsey in a one-on-one here with Singleton. Dorsey. Step back three is on the way. Tyler Dorsey! Tyler Dorsey with a three at the end of the third quarter to draw Olympiacos ever closer to the reigning champions. And George, this game is really starting to bristle.
They are heating up, and Tyler Dorsey came to play in the third quarter. There you see the score: Olympiacos Piraeus 63, Anadolu Efes Istanbul 66. You said it before, Tyler Dorsey had no points at halftime. So all the points that he scored are scored in the third quarter. It's
third
10
quarter
points to be
highlights here.
precise.
10 points from Tyler Dorsey. Elijah Bryant also a big contributor in that third quarter. You can see the emotions here, what it means to these two clubs. 10 minutes away from finding out who will go to the final.
And if you speak about the contribution of Tyler Dorsey to the team, Liam, there are two key statistics. He's ranked in top 10 in EuroLeague category, number 3 in three-pointers made and number 5 in three-pointers attempted. So you know very well that he's a capable scorer. And the way that he's come to play in the third quarter tells you that he plays with so much confidence.
Well, FS won that quarter 24-20. George taking a look at some of the stats here from that third quarter of play.
I think Coach Adaman has to be very happy with the three-point percentage there for Anadolu Efes at 48. That's an extremely high number. Same thing for the free throws, 88% from the free throw line. The numbers for the turnovers still staying low for the game.
Well, Tyler Dorsey wins best performance honors at the end of that third quarter. 10 points for the Californian. He made that last basket to send the teams to the benches at the end of the third. Well, there's some little stories developing here, George. So we know Micic with 3 fouls, Brian Dunstan with 4 fouls. And Tyler Dorsey, his season high, 32 points in round 5 against CSKA, 7 for 10 from three-point line.
So Anadolu Efes better pay attention to Tyler Dorsey. He can heat up in a moment. 32 points at CSKA. That was a remarkable shooting performance, as you said, 7 out of 10 three-pointers.
Olympiacos start with the possession here. They'll come out in this fourth quarter with McKissick, Dorsey, Vizhenkov, Slukas, and Martin. So it's a smaller lineup from Olympiacos. There's Slukas around the corner of that high screen. Slukas stripped, picks up the loose ball, shot clock running down. Dorsey in the lane, and his shot partially blocked by Tibor Pleiss. So FS start with Micic and Larkin in the backcourt, Elijah Bryant the 3. That's Tibor Pleiss and Singleton, a bigger lineup for FS on the floor.
And a great defense there on the first possession of the fourth quarter for Anadolu.
You see your players on the floor in that bottom graphic. Good movement by Bryant as he creates a little angle for Larkin. And that 3 is short. Here's Dorsey in the open floor. Is he gonna go the distance? Well, great defense from Singleton as he strips it from behind and causes the turnover.
The last touch was by the leg of was it Tyler Dorsey? Yep. He's arguing with the referee. He's pleading his case, but I don't think anything's going to change. Let's look at the slow-mo replay.
We might have a case. We have the advantage of the instant replay. Singleton certainly helping the referee make the call.
That was a veteran's move right there by Chris Singleton.
Can they turn it into points at best? Singleton. Singleton!
Are you kidding me?
Singleton goes to the rack with a left-handed jam.
He surprised everybody, I think.
Well, good passes to play on both ends of the floor from Chris Singleton. Vishenkov had a long time to think about that three, perhaps too long, and Pleiss with the rebound.
I tell you what, the bigger lineup is paying off so far for Coach Adamant, defensively and offensively.
Pleiss trying to establish position in the low post. McKissick pushing him around. Here's Larkin on the left hand. Shot no good. Another offensive rebound. Bryant to Micic, who beats the shot clock. Now Dorsey again. A 3-on-2 here. McKissick pulls it up. Slukas in space! Bryant with a good block. But Slukas fortuitously lays it up and in.
Slukas just stays with it. He doesn't get phased by the block on the three-point shot and lays it in with the easy deuce.
Larkin with the floater, up and good. Just curled around the pick.
He is so active with or without the ball. You saw him making so much motion there on the court, getting the ball, not putting it on the floor and immediately shooting.
Larkin with 18, the leading scorer. Elijah Bryant with 16. That's exactly what you talked about, George. The stars have to shine here when the game is on the line.
The big players come to play when the game gets tough. That's what they say. Let's see what Hassan Martin will do. He had a great first half with his physical quick play on the inside. He got great passes from the penetrations and immediately scored.
Yeah, George, he had those 9 points in the first half, but he didn't play in the third quarter.
They went with Mustafa Fall, but I think that this has been the story for Hassan Martin the whole season. I think that the minutes are very well distributed among the all players, I would say. That's what Coach Bartzokas likes to speak about. As I said before, he likes the team concept a lot more than the individual concept and statistics.
Look at the slow-mo of that flush from Chris Singleton.
That is serious hang time and flight time.
Tremendous. Of course, he had that steal or the turnover on the other end. McKissick gets a shoot his roll.
Shane Larkin already playing 29.5 minutes, so he's barely gotten a breather there on the bench at the moment.
Yeah, he's got more minutes than anyone else in the FS lineup. It's Walkup with 25 minutes. There's Walkup there for Olympiacos. The free throw from McKissick makes it a one-possession game. Micic with those 3 fouls. Slices through the lane, blocked. Here's McKissick, and the foul by Singleton. Look at the diving effort from Singleton. You can see the fans from Olympiacos are appealing for an unsportsmanlike foul. George, how do you see this?
That's an extremely tough call for the referees to make. I think they're gonna go to the slow-mo replay. They wanna make sure, because this could be a huge call with a great impact on the development of the game. With 6:57 to play in the fourth quarter.
Well, Singleton makes contact with the basketball,
but there was nobody between the basket and the player with the ball. I think this is the case where we need to review, and I'm all for it for the referees to take their time.
Bryant's on his way back, and then Singleton
kind of trips.
Yeah. For me, George, because he makes contact with the basketball, it's a back tip play. For me, this is a normal foul, but we'll see what the referees, more importantly, the referees, what they decide.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that that's not the case, that he would not touch the ball, but I think what needs to be addressed is if there was nobody between the basket and the player with the ball.
You've got Bryant coming here. Don't you see Bryant's coming?
They're in the same line. That's something to consider for sure, but you know, there's a possibility for the unsportsmanlike foul. There's no question.
Yeah, absolutely. And the referee's doing the right thing. They're going to the monitor and taking a look at this.
You know, Liam, let's talk about it. Round 10 game. It's a normal foul, so good call. Well, go analysis by you. One of the players that had a huge game in round 10, Efes win 88 over 69 over Olympiacos, was Rodrigue Bois, who has now scored a point in the game. He has 7 3-pointers in that game, scored 28 points. So he was a huge part of the first win of Efes over Olympiacos, and he's been battling some health issues so far.
Played in that first half. You have to get on the floor here in the second. We just saw fleetingly Trey Tompkins and Tomas Hurtel from Real Madrid, who are getting ready to come on. Nice crossover dribble from Shaquille McKissick and the left-handed lay-in from the American.
And this is exactly what you expect from Shaquille McKissick, those very energetic plays that are attacking the basket. That's what his best game is.
Just 1 point separate the two teams. Micic. A great pass by Micic from Place. Couldn't get 10 fingers on it. The pass ahead, just too strong for McKissick.
What a beautiful pass by Vasilije Micic to Tibor Pleiss. He just really did not expect that ball. Was passed maybe a little bit behind him, but still he should have caught the ball and just gathered up to go for the strong shot.
Well, we'll take a break in the action here in the Stark Arena. Anadolu Efes up 1 in the first semifinal tonight.
Liam, let me open up with an interesting statement from Coach Bartzokas before the Final Four. He said that this year's Olympiacos is the best group of guys that he ever had. And that's a very strong statement if you consider the 2012-13 team that he won the championship with.
Yeah, he did. That's exactly right.
What do you think about that?
Well, he's got 3. So we know he's got Papa Nicolau, and he's got Slukas, and he's got Prindices from that 2013 team. He's missing Spanoulis.
No, but still, isn't that a very strong statement going to the
very
Final
strong,
Four?
very, very strong statement. But what a testament to the group he's got now.
Absolutely.
A lot of unselfish players. We know they average 17 assists. He's got Slukas with those. He's a 3-time champion. The Slukas, he brings all that experience back. And then he's got guys who are just embracing their roles, like Martin's embracing a role, Fall's embracing a role. Vazenkov is having a career year, so there's got to be some validity to that statement, of course.
And absolutely a huge imprint of his 2.5 years' work ever since he's joined Olympiacos on his second stint.
There's Micic on the wing. Olympiacos stay with that small lineup. Larkin. Yeah, George, it's so frustrating, you know, for Vazenkov because there's less than 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and that's when you really want to move your feet and avoid fouling.
And they spend a lot of energy there on 20 seconds of playing very hard defense. They're all 5 players of Olympiacos, and Shane Larkin just picks up a foul.
Micic weaving his pass. Well, it falls into the hands of Brian Dunstan. Wasn't where it was intended to go, but Brian Dunstan in the right place at the right time, and he earns a trip to the line.
And he is not rushing anything. He's just calmly collecting the pass. Look at that again on the slow motion. He just steps into the right spot there, gets a little bit of a lucky break after the deflection. But now it's all poise, experience. He gathers up, makes himself as big as possible around the basket, takes the contact, and goes to the free throw line.
Yeah,
Simple basketball, right?
Yeah, exactly
Simple
right.
basketball.
He had that wide base and good composure. Brian Dunstan, 9th EuroLeague season, over 2,000 points in his career. From Queens, New York originally. In 2017, he was an all EuroLeague second team selection with Efes, 2-time EuroLeague best defender in 2014, 2015. Kyle Hines won that award this year from Olympia Milano. We'll see Tavares later with Madrid, also a all EuroLeague best defender previously in his career. Stay with us, fans. Plenty of basketball action to come as we approach the midway mark in the 4th quarter of this first semifinal. Vazenkov fouled by Elijah Bryant.
You know what? I was checking the stats there as Brian Dunstan scored his 12th point. He committed a foul on that possession, but his season high is 15, Liam, so he could easily surpass his season high. Sasha Vezenkov was fouled on the drive by, it was Elijah Bryant.
Exactly
the
right,
foul. Yeah. But Brian Dunstan could surpass his season high here today in the first semifinal of the EuroLeague Championship.
It's Lucas. His pass intended for Martin, broken up. Good defense from FS.
That was a costly mistake right there.
Vezenkov steps to guard Larkin. He really bends those knees to try and stay closer with the mercurial Larkin. And then again, commits the foul.
Isolation, if you have a mismatch, you don't need to run any place. And that's what FS is so good at. You see immediate recognition of the mismatch. Shane Larkin backs out Sasha Vezenkov and takes him one-on-one.
And that's what the high screen and roll does for you, George. Am I right in saying it creates mismatches? You get bigs guarding littles, and
yep,
you can see right there Larkin trying to exploit that advantage. Now it's Martin who's going to step. Micic rises with a three. It's off the mark, and we've got an offensive foul here. And if it's on Brian Dunstan, George, it's his 5th personal foul.
That's a big moment. The way that he's been playing so far, it's been absolutely crucial there for the lead of FS so far, but it's the 5th foul, so it's all down for Brian Dunstan. He finishes with 12 points and the performance index rating of 13.
We'll see who. Adrian Moorman has become the forgotten man. Moorman yet to score tonight, but he played 15 minutes in the first half. We'll see if he comes back on the floor. James Anderson also an option.
So they're going with Tibor Pleiss. He checks back into the lineup. 6 points so far in 14 minutes for Tibor Pleiss, and another missed free throw. Do you believe that? For Tyler Dorsey.
Yeah, Dorsey's an 80% free throw shooter through the course of the season, so it's uncharacteristic misses from him. He's 1 of 4 from the stripe.
Let's look at the team stats from the free throw line. It's 17 of 23, so 6 misses there for Olympiacos so far in the game.
Back to a 1-point lead as we're past the midway mark of the 4th quarter. Micic. His pass deflected out of bounds.
He was looking for contact and a foul to go to the free throw line, but good heads-up play there by Hassan Martin as he went vertically up. That's what you have to do. You cannot bring your arms down. That's when you give the referees a chance. Look at the slow motion right there from the other side.
The shot clock under 5, and McKissick nods the head as if to say, yep, I committed that foul, trying to fight through the screen.
But you have to love him. Shaquille McKissick just does not give up on any defensive play. That's only 4th team foul, so no bonus there for Anadolu Efes.
Larkin. Shot is short. And Lucas manages to grab it. Now Olympiacos with a chance to get back in front, and their faithful fans on their feet.
They feel the need.
Here's Vezenkov. It's off the mark.
I was surprised on that last possession by Anadolu that Shane Larkin didn't actually try to attack Vezenkov as he picked up 2 fouls on the same ISO situations before.
It's nail-biting time as you saw those fans. Here's Micic in the left hand. Again to Pleiss. Pleiss steps through. And a foul here on Hassan Martin.
That was a strong move to the basket by Tibor Pleiss as he used his height advantage. The tallest man on the floor, 2'21".
Yeah, he steps through, George, does he too? He steps with that right foot to go across the defender and rises.
You have to challenge the shot blocker, right, Liam? That's what they always say.
Absolutely. So Pleiss to the stripe. Pleiss is really shone in the absence of Sedatic Sandler. Remember Sandler had that great Final Four last year for FS when they won the crown, and he went to Barcelona in the offseason, and it really gave Tibor Pleiss a chance to shine this season.
But how about Tibor Pleiss in the playoffs? Game 4 against Milan, 25 points and 6 rebounds. I mean, he went gangbusters in that game.
Absolutely. Here's Lucas. Gets it back from Vazenkov. Shot clock under 10. Slukas just keeps moving. The shot won't go. Micic with the rebound. A chance to make it a two-possession game here. This trip down the floor. Larkin. Oh, what great defense from Hassan Martin.
Active hands saved the day for there for Olympiacos. That was a quick pass too.
It was.
What a deflection.
Slukas from the elbow. It's just short. Hassan Martin with the offensive rebound. He gives it to Dorsey quickly. Here's Vazenkov from the corner. Just won't go. And hands on heads for the Olympiacos fans. Vazenkov really struggling from the floor. 1 of 5 from behind the arc.
But it seems like the players of Olympiacos have used a lot of the energy and don't have the legs anymore. Everything is being missed short.
Usually a sign when the legs are starting to fatigue. And McKissick with a foul here, which will send Vasa Micic to the free throw line. Botsokas signals timeout, maybe to get a rest to those tired legs. Here's your score at the timeout. Olympiacos Piraeus 70, Anadolu Efes 73. And at the timeout, we get a chance to take a look at tonight's magic moment, the 7 days magic moment of action earlier tonight. It is none other than the one-handed slam by Chris Singleton. George drives to the basket with authority.
I would say it was a monster jam, Liam. Look at the hang time, look at the flying time. He just comes down with his weak hand, the left hand, but just goes over Hassan Martin, who is a tough defender himself.
Martin is a tough hombre. And Singleton challenges him. That comes on the back of a great defensive play. I think Singleton might be having a little word here with Hassan Martin as he puts him on the poster.
But you know that Hassan Martin knew that the way that he stepped in there, he knew he was beaten. He was well half a step too late there in that defensive possession.
Here's the line on Singleton tonight, those 5 points. He's knocked down a 3. Good bit of defense as well, which doesn't show up in the stat chart. And there you go, George. There's those tired legs that you were talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about the minutes. Shane Larkin's been playing 35.5 minutes. He's been on the floor almost all the time. Hey, but how about the production from the big guys, from the bench there for Anadolu Efes? 12 points for Brian Dunstan. And as you said, right now, it's 5 points for Chris Singleton. 17 points total there from the big guys from the bench.
You know what, George? I love that observation, but all those points from those big guys don't add up to the 18 that Shane Larkin has. Vazenkov struggling tonight. 2 from 10 from the floor, 1 of 5 from behind the arc.
I think the stats was actually 1 out of 8, Liam.
Wow.
Yep, including those two last 3-pointers that he took just moments ago. So really a tough game there from the outside. Tough shooting night there for Sasha Vazenkov, who absolutely has had a breakthrough season, no question about that. In his 5th season with Olympiacos, right?
He is their leading scorer, 13.7 points per game. And how often do you see Vasily Micic miss both free throws? So still a 1-possession game here. Olympiacos with a chance to tie this trip down the floor. Dorsey, this will level it if it goes. It's just off the mark.
And you have to give credit to Anadolu defense. Anadolu defense was actually the story of the playoffs. They held Milan in Milan to only 48 points. They've been playing very good defense lately. Let's say that, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense wins championships. Now, Micic's going to keep the ball in his hands. Eyeball to eyeball with Slukas. His step back 3 from Micic is off the mark, and good block out by Hassan Martin.
It's a defensive struggle on both sides. I think that the players have really exerted so much energy that there's not much left in the tank.
We are in crunch time, less than 2 minutes to play. 3 points separate the two teams. McKissick, can you provide some energy? McKissick on the bounce, rises, the right-handed runner is no good. The ball's in the air, and Tibor Pleiss comes up with a big loose ball possession for FS.
And a good defense by Chris Singleton. He was at the right spot at the right moment, I would say.
Well, Larkin wants to clear out. Larkin going to keep the ball in his hands. Wants to try and break down Slukas. Slukas standing tall defensively. And the foul, George, is just 1.1 seconds left on the shot clock.
Maybe Kostas Slukas should have just let the play go. I mean, if he was aware of the shot clock with 1.1 second to go, That's a tough one to reach from the back. As I said before, with the big guys, you give the referees a chance when you bring your arms down. And you give a chance if you slap from behind as a guard. You know, you give the referees a chance.
I love this referee, and George, you know, it's a referee giving Slukas a chance to regain his composure. He talks to him, calms him down, because Slukas, of course, the star of the game. Now, Larkin, with that free throw, it's now a 2-possession game, trying to extend the lead. Just over a minute to play. 4 points in it. Dorsey.
They don't have to rush anything yet.
Plenty of time. Dorsey keeps his dribble alive. Finds Vazenkov. Slukas. He's so smart, Slukas, as he draws the foul on Singleton.
He wants to get the same thing that was called on the other side.
We saw Kruno Simon, who's injured, unfortunately not able to play in this Final Four, was an integral part of FS's success this season.
That's a big absence, and I mean, it is really interesting to see that, because you got Rodrigue Balboa out of the lineup as well. He's been a non-factor with his back injury, so he had to replace basically 2 key players.
Well, Singleton now picks up his 5th foul, George, so it's both Bryant Dunston and Singleton out of the game for FS. Adrian Mormon steps back in.
I mean, with the way that they played aggressively on defense, I think they provided a huge spark there for Anadolu Efes. Both of those guys, Chris Singleton and Brian Dunston. I'm not even surprised that they both picked up 5 fouls. Very aggressive and physical game that we've seen so far.
Well, Slukas steps to the line, an 84% free throw shooter throughout the season, makes the first. This one to make it a 2-point game. And with a minute left here, George, if you're FS, do you go for a 2-for-1 down the stretch possessions, or do you take time off the clock now and go deep in the shot clock?
I will take the time off the clock, Lynn.
Well, we'll see what FS do. Micic in no hurry as he goes across the midcourt stripe. Less than a minute to play in this semifinal, the 22nd edition of the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague.
It's going to be ISO.
Micic trying to break down Martin. Micic in the left hand. Micic kicks. Adrian Mormon just stepped into the ball game. Oh, a brave 3 from Mormon, he misses it.
That's a lot of confidence that Vasa Micic put in Adrian Mormon after just stepping into the game.
Olympiacos with a chance to draw level or go ahead this trip down the floor. And Elijah Bryant just tips it out of bounds.
I thought that Vasa Micic had a great chance to shoot the ball on the inside. He faked everybody out.
It was a great up fake, and he had a little shot inside just above the halo, but so unselfish. And look at this defense. Again, another deflection, George. Elijah Bryant tips it out of bounds.
What a game for Elijah Bryant. He's got 16 points, 6 rebounds.
But just a reminder, these two teams went to overtime the last time they played each other. Round 26 in Piraeus in February. Slukas with a 3 to win it. This game perfectly poised. Just 2 points separate the teams. Martin inside with a chance to draw level. And it's knotted up here in 74 each as Olympiacos level the score. And with 19.5 seconds left, Coach Ataman with a timeout as FS with a chance to win it on the back of this lay-in from Hassan Martin.
That's a 6 assist there for Kostas Slukas. And a great use of the rim to protect the shot by Hassan Martin.
Well, Martin with the lay-in off the left hand. And it's his first points of the second half. He had 9 at halftime. He now has 11. Welcome to the ball game in the second half, Hassan Martin.
One of the best,
too, for the American.
One of the best games for Hassan Martin in the season, if you ask me.
Well, George, let's just talk about these 19.5 seconds. So if you're FS, the worst outcome for you is to go to overtime. You want to keep the ball in your hands, long in the shot clock.
Okay, but you got two of the best players to isolate and to draw the foul. Do you agree? So for me, the game plan is simple. You isolate either for Larkin or for Vasa Micic, and you let them go one-on-one and hope to pick up a foul.
What time do you start to attack the basket?
6 seconds.
Okay, gives you a chance to get a rebound maybe, and gives very little opportunity for Olympiacos to come back the other way. Well, here's a look at how this game has progressed throughout the course of the game. Olympiacos led throughout most of the first half. It's been FS in the second half, and right now it is level at 74 each. Next question is, where do FS bring the ball in They have the option to advance into their front court. They're going to take it out on the baseline, giving them more time, I suppose, to use the clock.
Or I have another question. Do you foul if you're
well, there you go.
Olympiacos?
It's a very good question. Do you foul, put someone on the line, and give yourself a chance to come back and win it? We'll see how it plays out. So the ball into the hands of Micic.
Thomas Walkup playing the defense.
Walkup, who guarded Mike James in the playoff, now eyeball to eyeball with Vasilije Micic. Here we go at less than 6. Micic keeps the ball in his hands. Clock is running out. Micic rises. If it goes, he'll win it! Vasilije Micic with the troika in Belgrade to win the semifinal here. What a dramatic finish in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Vasilije Micic, who's the Alfonso Ford scoring leader at the end of the season, with a 3 to win it. It's elation for Efes and a wry smile from Coach Ataman. And it's disconsolation here for Olympiacos, who come up on the short end of an epic finish in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. I love this game.
What a finish, what a play by Vasa Micic. That's what you expect your best scorer in the competition to step up, take charge, and take the decisive. Look at him one more time in the slow motion. He steps back over Sasha Vezenkov. 2 players on the all EuroLeague teams. But Vasilije Micic gets the best out of the duel. It is a sweet shot for Vasilije Micic and Anadolu Efes, and the qualification to the championship game.
Well, George, he is one of Serbia's favorite sons. The Serbian international, Vasilije Micic, with a 3 to win it. Look at the reaction on the bench from Singleton and Dunstan, who could play no part because they had fouled out. And look at these dramatic scenes as Larkin is on the floor with his backcourt mate, Vasilije Micic. Well, stay with us, fans, as we wrap this one up, but what an outstanding finish to a dramatic basketball game. It's tears of joy from that fan from Anadolu Efes.
What a heartbreaker for the large contingent of Olympiacos fans. Has been just absolutely silent here ever since the 3-pointer by Micic. What a semifinal for the history books. Let's see if they're gonna discuss to put few fractions of a second back on the shot clock. Not sure theoretically how much that could be.
We might have some time to play here as the referee's going to look at this. The score at the moment, 77 to 74.
0.2, so that can be only a tip-in play. Alley-oop play. The player cannot come down with the ball, gather up to shoot. The minimum for that is 0.7 seconds.
You are an encyclopedia of knowledge. Wow.
You enrich me every breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Liam.
Well, I tell you what, so here's the story. Olympiacos are going to have to advance the ball into their front court.
Yep.
They're going to get a tip play. And for FS now, the challenge for FS, of course, is they have to defend without fouling. So Tibor Place, understandably, on the floor. He'll be the rim protector.
But it's a 3-point game, so they would have to make an alley-oop 3-point play, Liam. I think it's a Hail Mary.
So you can see Ataman sending the signal in. Go around the arc and put your hands up. This is the amoeba defense. Spread out, get your hands up. We'll see how Olympiacos, with one last-ditch effort to try and draw level here. Walk up to bring it out. Prindices, it's off the mark, and this one is officially in the book. What a dramatic finish here in the Stark Arena in Belgrade, as that man there, Vasilije Micic, makes a 3 to win it. The two teams, George, it'd be fair to say they labored in that fourth quarter. Tired legs from both sets of players, but Vasilije Micic, as you said earlier, the stars have got to shine when the lights are bright, and Micic certainly did that.
So this is exactly what we said during the game.
Well, Moorman and Fall, the two Frenchmen, embracing at midcourt. Of course, Beaubois, another French player on the FS team. And the players commend each other on a well-played game. You can see the FS fans in raptures of joy. We'll stay with us, fans, as we wrap this one up with some stats and some interviews. Of course, another game to come, El Clásico de Baloncesto later on, as Madrid will face Barcelona. It'll be a good night for those FS fans.
And how about Anadolu Efes playing the championship game in 2019, the season canceled in 2020, winning last year and making the championship game again in 2022. That's a legacy that Coach Ergin Ataman is building there in Istanbul.
Absolutely, he started in 2017 with the team, and so, as you quite rightly say, it'll be effectively their fourth trip to the finals, because when the COVID season ended, they were number one in the league.
By far.
Yeah, so it's just a testament to how well they've been playing.
And Liam, do you know where they what place they finished in 2018?
You're gonna tell me now, aren't you?
Last.
Wow, what a Cinderella story, really, and commendations to Coach Ataman and his coaching staff. Look at that, man, look what it means to the FS fans who've made the journey from the European side of Istanbul.
The core, the nucleus of Anadolu Efes staying intact. There you see the score. It's officially in the books. Anadolu Efes 77 over Olympiacos Piraeus 74. It's Vasilije Micic, Shane Larkin, Brian Dunstan, Tibor Pleiss, Adrian Merman, Rodrigue Balboa, and Anderson. Just all those 7 players staying together for ages.
Well, we'll take a look now at tonight's Adidas Player of the Game. Plenty of choice in this one. Is it Vasilije Micic with the 3 to win it? It is not. It is Shane Larkin, the American, with 21 points and 7 assists, close to a double-double. He was 4 of 12 from behind the arc, 2 of 6 from inside it. And we've got him courtside for his thoughts on tonight's win.
My man, you know my job is to have a question, right? But I don't have one. So I'm just gonna let you take the mic.
I don't know what to say either, man. Tough game, unbelievable atmosphere. Shout out to my guy over there, number 22, man. Big shot, hometown. Couldn't write a better script, man. So happy to be back in the final, and got to stay focused. Enjoy this one tonight. Focus up tomorrow for whoever we play, and try to get another championship.
You guys went from this dynamic duo last year to this trio now with Elijah, man. Because he stepped up and had a huge game in his first Final Four. What's it like playing with the 3? It's like a liberty to play between the 3 of y'all.
Yeah, man. Elijah stepped up amazing tonight. And like I've always said for the last 4 years, we have a great team. A lot of players that can step up at different times. And tonight it was Elijah. He played amazing, played with confidence in his first Final Four. We needed that. We needed him a lot tonight. And it was amazing. So happy for him, and let's keep going.
It was similar to last year's final. You kept the team in the first half, and then they took over later on for you.
Yeah. Man, these games are just amazing games. They go up and down, roller coaster ride, but you got to stay focused, stay together, and we pulled it out again. And now we just got to focus on trying to pull it off and win another championship.
Get some rest, man. I saw you breathing heavy.
Well, the line here on Shane Larkin, tonight's Adidas Player of the Game, the 29-year-old with 21 points and 7 assists. And George, really unselfish of Larkin as he shed some light and some love on the play of Elijah Bryant with 16 points and Vasilije Micic with 15. We're going to go back courtside. We're going to talk to tonight's winning coach, Coach Ataman.
Going offensively, but either today. So what was the difference in the last 3 minutes of the game, other than you got guys like Micic and Larkin on your team?
First of all, I want to say congratulations to my good friend Barzokas. And it's very bad luck for them. Okay, this buzzer shot, every time is better to stay on the winner's side on that shot. They made also great game. Congratulations to Olympiacos Club, Olympiacos fans. They made incredible atmosphere here, so more than maybe 15,000 people. So they are very strong club, good club. Congratulations for all of them. The game was amazing, up and down. I think that we didn't start well the game, but in the second half we take the control. Also we lead the game by 10, by 11 points. But we get tired, especially Larkin get some problem in his knee, get tired, Micic get tired. We miss a lot of shots, a lot of penetration to close the game, and Olympiacos come back to the game. Finally, okay, now it was very difficult game, but one more to make back-to-back.
You're one away from back-to-back, Coach. Good luck, man. Get some rest, will you?
Well, Coach Ataman trying to win back-to-back titles. The last time it was done by Olympiacos in 2012 when they won in Istanbul, and in 2013 when they won in London. George, a look here at the shot chart for Anadolu Efes.
I'm just still taken back by the finish there, Liam. I'm at loss of words, so it's really difficult. I think it's more important that we go to another player, Vasilije Micic of Anadolu Efes, and talk to him now.
Hey man, I'm getting tired of this interview, but tell me about that last play. Tell me that it was set up for you, obviously, but I mean, what was going through your mind? You know, you didn't want to give any more time to the other team to shoot. That was for sure.
This situation was very similar like last game of regular season where I made a mistake and I attacked too early. So I think I learned a little bit from that situation. It was very important plays before Stukas scored the clutch 3. So today, even I missed 2 free throws and previous shot of 3-point.
You didn't let me bring up the 2 missed free throws. I was going to do that in a minute.
Okay, sorry. But anyway, I just kept believing that maybe this shot at the end will go in. Still, I always mentioned that at the end, me and Shea, we never feel like jealous to each other who will take the last shot. I'm very happy when he makes. Today, it was in my hands, and I'm very happy that I made it.
You all right physically?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know, honestly.
You'll tell me on Saturday, right?
I'll tell you.
Hey, man, that shot was sweet. Didn't touch nothing but nets. Go get some rest, my man.
Thank you, my man.
Good job.
Well, the winning shot from Vasilije Micic, and George, he too, almost a double-double. Micic with 15 points and 9 assists. Talk about the contribution he made tonight.
It's a 1-2 combo we said before, perhaps the best backcourt in EuroLeague, in Europe, and it paid off today.
Well, George, we're going to talk now to tonight's losing coach, Coach Bartzokas. Coach Ataman already paid his respects, and here he is now, Coach Bartzokas.
Coach, this is always the most difficult interview for me to do. Fourth quarter, just couldn't get anything going offensively, either team, and they took advantage at the end.
Both teams, they had pressure. You know, it was a tight game, as we expected to be. 1-2 decisions, 1-2 crucial shots, and of course the last one, which was really tough for us. Congratulations to Efes. You know, I cannot complain to anything about our players. We gave everything. Okay, we have a little bit more pressure than we should, but okay, this is basketball.
The fans are still amazing, though, aren't they?
Yes, always like this.
I'm sure we'll see them on Saturday. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, class there from Coach Bartzokas. It's got to be hard to talk after a heartbreaking loss.
Both
just
coaches,
like that.
I really like the way that Coach Ataman started his interview, thanking the other side, and Coach Bartzokas. A lot of respect between the coaches, players on all sides.
Yeah, these two teams split during the season. We know the last time they played, it went to overtime, and this game was a very, very similar finish. We're going to take a look at some highlights to wrap this one up. What a epic game in the Turkish Airlines EuroLeague. Efes end up on top on a 3 from Vasilije Micic. It started off with touches inside to Mustafa Fall.
You know, I want to give one more thought as we look at the highlights of the game. Beautiful game that was, an incredible semifinal. I want to say, Liam, it was an overtime victory and a tight game in Piraeus in round 27. It was a tied game to the last possession here, so that's 8 tight quarters and an overtime. And you mentioned that there was a decisive victory by Anadolu Efes in Istanbul before, but I disagree with that because it was tied after 3 quarters and a complete collapse in quarter number 4 by Olympiacos. 20-3, they got outscored. So these two teams are absolutely even matched. You mentioned it with the stats. We could not pick a difference in the stats. So today you had two teams meeting that have had great season and were almost identical across the board in all stats.
Well, they each had 17 assists throughout the season. Tonight it was 20 assists for Efes and 18 for Olympiacos. George, just a quick look at the numbers as we wrap it up. What jumps out at you?
Very low number of turnovers, 8 and 9 under 10. If you keep that, it's a very focused game and an edge for 3-point shooting there for Anadolu Efes. I think that decided the game. 41% for Anadolu, 28 for Olympiacos, the outside shooting. Sasha Vezenko, for example, struggling mightily there from distance.
Well, as we wrap this one up, Anadolu Efes will advance to the finals, and Olympiacos brought their season to a close. Efes will get a chance to defend the title they won in Cologne in 2021 when they beat Barcelona. Efes advanced to the final. From me, Liam Canny, it is good night from Belgrade. The second semifinal still to come.
Turkish Airlines EuroLeague in association with